Good Friday morning. We made it to the end of the week. Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively taking a look at what's going on. The Tamco Live Doppler radar is showing some isolated showers coming offshore, moving further inland, but the mid to upper levels are still dry right now, so this is nothing bona fide by any means. But this afternoon, we still are expecting some 10 to 20% coverage for some passing showers, maybe an isolated storm, very similar to what we saw on Wednesday. Remember those passing showers moving through? That's what we're seeing right now. If we zoom out and we actually do look for some showers and some thunderstorms, that's going off well towards the north. None of this is going to be an issue for us, but you can see a line of storms making its way towards the Red River. That's Paris, Texas, moving into Texarkana, and then another area over there moving into the Tennessee Valley. Lots of lightning strikes in the last 2 minutes. There's that area down there in the Bay of Campeche. That's that broad low pressure we've been talking about that's bringing lots of deep tropical moisture into the southern Gulf. Now, at least into early next week, that's what's going to give us a pretty wet pattern Sunday through at least Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. You can see on the satellite and radar, it is still dry in the mid to upper levels, but we're starting to see more of the clouds coming in from central Texas. That's moisture coming in from the Pacific, and then we're going to see more moisture increasing through the Gulf really the next couple of days this weekend. We're going to get more humid, more moisture, and pretty wet once we get to the end of the weekend. Look at the temperatures. It is pretty warm and muggy. It feels like we're in Cancun. It feels like we're next to the equator. Very warm, middle to upper 70s all across the board, if not pretty much getting into the upper 70s all across the board. But several spots already at the 80-degree mark this morning, thanks to our sponsor of Neutron Electrical Services. Seeing what's going on this Friday morning, it is warm, muggy, and humid. And we're seeing that in the construction forecast for today. It's been a pretty nice week to get things done, but once again today, we are going to be mostly hot and mostly dry. Heat index is going to be anywhere from 105 to 106 degrees, so definitely stay cool. Your only relief from the heat is these small, isolated passing showers, just 10 to 20% coverage. You might see an isolated storm, but other than that, for the majority of us, it's going to be a pretty hot and pretty dry day today. We've been talking about this area in the Bay of Campeche. It still has that 10%, but regardless of what the development odds are, whether it's 10, whether it's 100, it does not change the forecast because this is what it's bringing. Lots of deep tropical moisture. Locally heavy rain will be moving into Mexico later today through the weekend, and there's going to be two different stories with this. So regardless of what the tropical development odds are, this is moving into Mexico. This is bringing lots of deep tropical moisture. So high pressure has been dominating our area this whole week. All of that ends because now we are switching over or transitioning into a very wet forecast. So here we are by Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. This broad area of low pressure will move into Mexico, locally heavy rainfall for those areas, and this will even have locally heavy rainfall in parts of South Texas as well too. But here's the different side of this. This is a weak frontal boundary. It's not going to do much in the temperature department for us. So I know a lot of people are saying, is this going to bring colder temperatures? No, this weaker front helps with lift energy. It is a trigger factor for showers and thunderstorms. Now you are putting in lots of deep tropical moisture in this trigger factor to help make for a very active forecast Sunday, Monday, and especially Tuesday. With this front lingering around our area Monday and Tuesday, this is just science 101. Locally heavy rainfall for parts of central Texas, southeast Texas, even Louisiana, and this goes all the way to Mississippi and Alabama. How much rain are we talking? Well, let's kind of zoom out because, again, this is two different things that's going on. There's that broad area of low pressure going into Mexico, bringing heavy rain into the southern Gulf and into Mexico. And look at Texas. Look at Louisiana. 1 to 2 inches of rain out of this system. That's it. Not much. But remember, we just talked about that weak frontal boundary. That weak frontal boundary will be lingering in the region. That triggers storms. Now you keep tossing in more of that deep tropical moisture. You have heavy rainfall potential from central Texas all the way down to Victoria, Beaumont, into Lake Charles, all the way into Mississippi and Alabama. So a very wet forecast is shaping up for us, no doubt about it. We're isolated today and tomorrow in the rain department, and then we jump up to numerous starting Sunday, and it gets very active Monday and especially on on Tuesday, and then we have some lingering showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday. Our potential for locally heavy rain is mainly Sunday afternoon, especially through Monday and Tuesday. So we just got to get through that. Futurecast for today, again, 10 to 20% coverage. We might see 30% coverage up there towards Huntsville, Livingston, maybe towards Brenham and Sealy. A little bit better coverage over there, but majority of us, it's a mostly hot, mostly dry day. 10 to 20% coverage, sponsored by Switch Electric. But this afternoon, we'll be watching for some areas like Sealy, just on the outskirts of Katy. You could get a pretty little good downpour, but other than that, again, it is a mostly dry day shaping up for us. This evening will be muggy and quiet, not much going on. The same thing on Saturday as well, too. It's Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We see the potential for some locally heavy rainfall. Widespread 2 to 3 inches of rain is definitely on the table. Isolated areas, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain cannot be ruled out. So lots of rain definitely on the way once we get into Sunday, especially Monday and Tuesday. But today, it's going to be on the mostly dry side. 10 to 20% coverage, temperatures into the low to mid-90s. Heat index is the main thing, sponsored by Switch Electric and Silsby Ford. Get you 100 to 105 heat index. So definitely stay cool if you can. And then overnight tonight, it's going to be warm, muggy, and humid, feeling like Cancun, pretty much into the middle to upper 70s. A lot of us going to stay hugging that pretty much upper 70s to low 80-degree mark. Here's our 7-day forecast for southeast Texas. Isolated potential today and tomorrow, and then widespread and numerous Sunday, especially Monday and Tuesday. 2 to 3 inches of rain is definitely possible. Widespread, isolated areas can get even higher than that. One thing about the rain and the clouds, this does help the temperatures kick out of the 90s, and we're more so in the 80s, but we are talking the chance for some locally heavy rainfall. Same thing for southwest Louisiana. It's today and tomorrow. That isolated thing should be a little bit more towards Friday and Saturday. I apologize. But once we get into Sunday, widespread, numerous storms start moving into the rain. Locally heavy rainfall is what we'll be watching. Good time to go download our free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. There's not much happening today and not much happening tomorrow, but we are gearing up for a pretty wet Sunday, especially Monday and Tuesday. So download our free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It will keep you updated around the clock on rainfall totals and what time rain is moving in and out of your area. Have a wonderful Friday. Thank y'all again for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow morning for the Saturday morning show, but we'll have more updates throughout the day on Facebook, YouTube, and on our free app. Have a great Friday, everybody.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play and stay connected no matter where you are.